Now, where did he run off to? Well, aren't you the bold one, running around this part of the forest? You've got to be either fearless or just plain foolhardy. Haven't you seen the undead? I'm a vine desk ranger, and I'm not even sure I'm safe here.
Is Indaenir here?
Ah, yes, you're the one he mentioned. He'll be glad you're here. The Veiled Heritants were one thing, but the undead are too much. They're Blackroot clan. They were a cruel lot even when they were living, and now they're even worse. Don't ask me. We're at a standstill as far as I'm concerned. I'm not even sure what's at stake. Until I know more, we're hunkering down here. Indaenir has been running around, though. He's probably got a plan, but you two are on your own for now. You know, it comes and goes. Oh, yeah, there he is.
Did she tell you? One of the greatest mysteries of Valenwood has finally been solved. Decades of conflicting rumors have been put to rest. We finally know what happened to the Blackroot clan. They died, right here in Verlaine. Yes, once again the work of Naemon's Shade and the Veiled Heritants. And yes, I do realize we need to return them to rest, but I'm hoping we can uncover more about what happened here while we do. Are you ready to get to work, my friend? The Blackroot clan warriors are even more bloodthirsty in death than they were in life. But there are also other spirits here, glimmers from the past, crying out for help. I think they're trying to show us something. We need to watch them. Look for the glimmers of the past I spoke of. Hopefully they will help us figure out how to put the Blackroot clan back to rest.
General Malgoth and the rest of the Blackroot troops are almost upon us.
No! That plan is madness!
Silence, Glonir. Our sacrifice today will ensure our sister villages live on.
Here's another scene. Let's watch.
Elfie, I can't do this. I'm scared. I don't want to die.
It's all right, Lily. The poison itself is slow. The black root will have cut our throats long before you felt its effects. Here, we'll drink it together, and I'll fight by your side till the end.
Until the end.
Now, to battle!
Look, another one!
That's the last of them, General. The village is clear.
An easy victory. Verlaine is the first to fall, but there will be more. Now, per the meat mandate, let us feast on the fallen. Prepare the cave temple. It's a suitable place for a celebration.
These spirits.
Light it up!
There's the guys behind me.
Look, another one.
General Morgoth, the troops. Half of them are dead. The other half...
Are dying, including us. This is poison. The villagers poisoned themselves to poison us.
What do you mean?
The meat mandate, you idiot. Elfyria knew she couldn't win on the field, but she'll still manage victory. To the Nereid Temple. Perhaps we can beg a cure.
Here's another scene. Let's
Rise,
watch.
my soldiers. Back to your bodies and take up
Why
arms.
do you command us from the ooze?
A powerful one, unknown to me, has stolen my bow. It invoked the right of theft, and commanded we march against the Dominion.
By your command.
What a sacrifice! To think the villagers actually poisoned themselves in order to poison the Blackroot clan. It may be morbid, but it's also brilliant. Of course, that really doesn't help us return the Blackroot warriors to their graves, does it? From what I gathered, one of Naemon's servants has stolen General Malgoth's bow and compels the Blackroot clan to fight by the right of theft. What we need to do is steal the general's bow back, and then we can release him from his vows. We must rely on the scenes of the past. After being poisoned, General Malgoth went to the Nereid Temple. It's likely he died within. I suggest you go in and search for the general's remains. I'll continue searching for clues out here in the forest. Be wary in there. Nereids wield dangerous magic and can never be trusted. It's no surprise they helped the villagers in their suicidal plot. In fact, the Nereids probably consider General Malgoth's bow a prize. They will defend his remains. As barbaric as it seems, many clans still lived by the old traditions during the Bosmer tribal wars. Mind you, they didn't consume the bodies of the dead because they enjoyed the taste. It was a matter of tradition. Apparently so, though the tactics they embrace sound more like a Nereid plot than something the villagers themselves might have come up with on their own. Desperation turns enemies into allies. The villagers knew General Malgoth and the Blackroot clan were going to attack, and they knew they couldn't win. Likely they asked the Nereids for help, and the Nereids convinced them this was the best course. Of course, Malgoth sought to unite all the Bosmer under his leadership. He led the Blackroot clan to conquer much of Valenwood during the Bosmer tribal wars. Then one day they just disappeared. No one knew what happened, until now. The Bosmer have always been free peoples, bound only to the green. Rarely have the tribes united under singular leadership, although for a period many, like Malgoth, tried. Most of the so-called wars were not fought at all, but won by trickery. Yes, General Malgoth had traveled far and wide. He had seen the greatness that comes to those who conquer through military might. That you'd not heard of him is a tribute to the sacrifice of the Verlaine Bosmer. Because it's in their nature. Death amuses them, and all the more when they can manipulate people into bringing about their own demise. As distasteful as it may be, the Nereids are part of the natural order. I just try to stay away from them. For General Malgoth, that's apparently the case. For all his ambition, he was still a staunch traditionalist. It's actually quite impressive that his sense of honor remains intact, even so many years after his death. I'd say this is a perverted case. The value that Malgoth placed on his bow alone may be enough for him to want it back. Or he may be using the right of theft as a more honorable justification for his new servitude. There was fear in his voice.
You would steal that which has already been stolen, then enter the Shadowwood and seek it, though you will find only death.
Shadowwood. I had hoped not to visit here again. If this is where he is holding the General's bow, then it's just as well. We need to find the shade to get the bow back. I don't know. We'll have to search until we find it, though. In the meantime, however, do you recall the glimmers of the past we saw earlier? It seems those spirits are trapped here in the Shadowwood. We should release them. It's the shadow rifts that bind them here. From this side, you only need to touch the rifts to close them. That will release the spirits from their torment and weaken Naemon's grip on this place. If you'll focus on that, I'll search for the shade. Good luck, and see you by the stones.
betrayed us. May Ifrit smile on you. You closed the rifts that bound us here. You must stop that shade, though. It ceased to do terrible things to Valenwood. Though I have passed on many years gone now, I still consider Valenwood my home. Thank you, and thank you again for releasing us from his grasp. To be pulled back from the rest of death and bound like this, forced to serve such darkness, it was sheer torture. Though we are dead, the people of Verlaine are in your debt. Yes, I suppose there is. I can give you a shield that will protect you from harm while you remain in the Shadowwood. Take it, and my blessing. May Ifra watch over you in this realm and back in the realm of the living. Good luck!
Things are already seeing this.
That was a harrowing experience all around. I'm glad it's over. I hope we have succeeded in weakening Naemon's grasp on Valenwood as a whole. Only one thing remains. We must deal with the spirit of General Malgoth. Yes, and since you have succeeded in stealing it, it falls on you to invoke the right of theft with the General. Whatever you ask him, he will be compelled to do. The compassionate choice would be to release the General and his army, to allow them to return to their rest. But if you prefer, you might ask them instead to turn against Naemon and aid our forces in the fight for Valenwood. The choice is yours.
What should I do? Should I fight for my
So it's true then? You have retrieved my bow from the shade? My father told me, you will find your bow in an animal's bone. Before it's even carved, you will see it. Mammoth's tusk. Extraordinarily difficult to make a good bow out of. But it was just like he said. I saw it, and I knew. What do you want? My army is loyal even deep within death, deep within the ooze. They would march against the sun if I commanded it. They will march against Naemon.
So you commanded the general to turn around and fight on our behalf instead? I feel sorry for the spirits of his soldiers that they remain bound here, but at least you were able to free the villagers from the Shadow Wood.
Now he's making me feel I should have done this. It's too long.
We've done all we can here, but it's clear that Naemon still seeks to harm Valenwood, so our work is not finished. I suggest we spread out and search for signs of darkness. When Auriel wills it, I am certain the Green will bring us together again. Unless you have questions for me, I will soon be on my way. We should both search the forest for other signs of Naemon's corruption. I fear at some point we will have to confront Naemon himself. A spiritual prison of a sort. Bosmer who break their oath to the Green Pact go there when they die, to reflect for an eternity. There's a place called Owls, where we bring the bodies of Oathbreakers. Some think it's a physical link to the ooze.
Auriel, grant me strength. I hope you're the one Indaenir spoke of. Thank the Eight. The army here is greater than we anticipated. Damn these gates. Damn the corruption. I should be in there, not Indaenir. He said you'll be able to pass through. Help him. Stop Naemon. He wasn't wrong. The veiled heritance subjected my brother's body to an unnatural resurrection, as a lich. He has the Staff of Magnus, and is using it to suppress Hectahame's necromantic wards and raise an undead army. Very. According to Indaenir, Hectahame guards the heart of Valenwood. He believes Naemon is corrupting it, and this corruption turns any soldiers we send forth feral. Indaenir knows more. He waits for you at the gate. Indaenir believes he can enter unharmed, and you as well. I pray he's right. We have only limited understanding of the history. Some time after the passing of the Ayleids, a necromancer or group of necromancers tried to raise an army of the dead. Necromantic wards were put in place, but now Naemon is suppressing them.
Even as a lich, I don't believe Naemon is powerful enough to disrupt the ancient wards. Elendari believes it's the Staff of Magnus. We must retrieve the staff and secure it for the Aldmeri Dominion. Some say it once belonged to Magnus, the god of magic himself. Some say it was a gift. Others say it was stolen. Others believe it's a test. It suppresses magic, and it seems Naemon is using it to subdue the wards. I little understand it, but the Bosmer have described it to me as the center of Greenshade. As Naemon is allowed to corrupt it, the forest will die. The Bosmer here would lose their homes and be forced to flee.
What is it?
I'm relieved you're here, my friend. As dark as my fears may have been, they pale in comparison to the reality. If the shade of Naemon corrupts the heart of Valenwood, then the realm he calls the Shadowwood will soon consume this one. It won't be easy. The enchantments that once kept evil out are now corrupted. It's something similar to the blight we saw in Verant Morass, but much stronger. Every soldier who's entered has turned feral. Even you and I would not be immune. It's risky, but to defeat the darkness we may have to embrace it first. The green is corrupted, and I think I can use my connection with it to thrust us into the realm of the Shadowwood. In that realm, I suspect we can get past the blight. Let's hope this works. All right then. There, we're in Shadowwood again, as foul as it ever was. We should be able to bypass the blight though, and all the feral guardians that would block our way. Once we get in there, we need to head for the grotto. That's where the heart is. There's only one way to find out, isn't there? If we go feral, that's that. If not, I still suspect we'll encounter some resistance. The Shadowwood hasn't lacked for corrupted spirits elsewhere, and I can't imagine it will here either. Ifrit goes! He's turned so many! We have to stop this! As formidable as you may be, I fear we couldn't get through here in the physical realm.
What do you want?
couldn't be that lucky. The shade has blocked the way. Let's see. These pedestals look as if they're still active. Yes, I know what to do. This is the entrance to the Valenwood. It seems the Shade of Naemon has taken care to ensure his work is not disturbed. This is an ancient alien barrier. We'll need to activate the pedestals to pass. We'll need to get the keystones, Welkin stones I imagine, and the Shade has likely scattered them throughout the branches of Hectahame. There is more too. I will need to study these pedestals to decipher the way of unsealing the door. Good thinking. Whatever we can do to speed this up. In fact, as soon as you find each keystone, bring it here before searching for the others. That will help me puzzle this out more quickly.